is still Hot Edition here on 3FM 92.7. It's the Good Friday edition. Let's take you into our fight against Galamsey right now, because security forces have wrapped up Ghana's fight against illegal mining, arresting 26 suspects, including Chinese nationals, in a major operation at a forest reserve near Samreboy in the Western region, in a coordinated raid led by the Police Intelligence Directorate with support from the CID, National Operations Directorate, and Foreign Police units. Authorities dismantled a well-equipped Galamsey operation. The raid resulted in the arrest of 8 Chinese nationals and 18 Ghanaians who were engaged in illegal mining in the protected reserve. Police sources indicate that the targeted concession is linked to a Quanta mining company owned by Bernard Entribo, known popularly as Chairman Wuntumi. Authorities seized an arsenal of mining equipment and weapons, also including 6 pump-action guns with over 150 rounds of ammunition, 6 water pumping machines, 3 excavators, and 3 payloaders. 6 machetes as well were discovered, 2 Toyota pickup trucks and 1 Toyota RAV4, and the suspects remain in custody. And we're going to connect shortly with Elikem Kotoko, who is the Deputy Chief Executive of the Forestry Commission, and then get details for you on the findings of what it is that we've got. But we know as well that the Western Regional Minister, Joseph Nelson, he's urged the Western Police Command to renew its commitment to fighting against illegal mining without compromise. He's been speaking to the police leadership at Takwa, where Mr. Nelson, amongst many other things, is advocating for a no compromise whatsoever in the fight against illegal mining.
Our environment is being destroyed in the name of finding gold and making money. The lives of the rest of us are being put into serious jeopardy. We know it. We know it. But I believe that we're always thinking that, okay, well, if the water body is destroyed, why? I'm able to access bottled water. And of course, you're able to afford it, bottled water. And so who cares? If they are destroying their own environment, who cares? Perhaps that is the thinking of some of us. But that will be most unfortunate if that is the mindset, because ultimately it will come to hurt all of us. And it's already hurting. The diseases and, all the negative effect that this menace is wreaking on our lives. You may not be directly engaged, with the effect of this distraction. Perhaps you don't live in a Nyanwa, you don't live in all of these places where the water bodies have been destroyed, and certainly you don't drink from them. And so, the question is, should you care? Today, our food security as a country is in serious danger. The very land that we used to devote to the planting of cassava and the basic food stock that we grow. I mean, today, as you drive around, you see cassava farms.
That's the Western Regional Minister. Let's return now, speak to Elikem Kotoko on that major operation undertaken earlier today, in the early hours of today, if I can put that rightly. Elikem Kotoko is the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Forestry Commission, who's joined us via the telephone lines. Elikem, many thanks for speaking to us, and a happy Easter to you.
Thank you. I'm grateful to be on your program this evening.
Now, let's get straight into it. And this is about the second or third major operation in the Western region this week, targeted at ridding our forests of illegal miners. Walk us through this latest operation and how you went about it.
Thank you. This is one of many operations that will be conducted across the country. And I would first and foremost want to commend His Excellency President Mahama for walking the talk. He has given the necessary support to every institution that seeks to fight this battle, because it is a threat to our existential, to our existence as humans, and also to the Sector Minister, Honorable Amar Kofi-Buah, and the Defense Minister, Dr. Mani Buama. The reason I have to thank them is because they have decided to deploy their men, and the IGP to deploy their men in the discharge of this duty to make sure that we keep our water bodies clean, or we begin the exercise to restore our water bodies. And the Western region cannot be left out, so can the Eastern not be left out, and some other regions. But we have begun at some places, and there's no end in sight in terms of this battle, to make sure that our brothers and sisters who are engaged in this act are told to stop destroying our water bodies, destroying our vegetation or our forest reserves, and also the food crops that we eat at large. So, yes, the exercise was aimed at ensuring that we go after those who are illegally mining in not only in forest reserves, but destroying our water bodies and the
and these illegal miners, where the operation took place today, where are they as we speak? Hello, Alikem. Right, we're speaking to Alikem Kotoko, is the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Forestry Commission. Let's try and reconnect with him right now. Alikem, I was asking, we saw the operation, we've seen videos and excerpts of it. Where are the suspects as we speak, the individuals who were picked up engaged in these illegalities?
The suspects have been brought to Accra for onward actions. The relevant authorities that need to deal with them will be doing so. And as you are aware, there are some foreign nationals also involved. And these are people who we have questioned why they would leave their country to only want to come and destroy ours. But we cannot blame them also entirely, because it takes our people who also either lead them to such places. And it is also an avenue I would want to use the opportunity to tell most of our local authorities to aid government in this battle, especially our chiefs. If we have their full support, we'll be halfway through this battle.
If you have their full support, you'll be halfway through the battle. And we understand, based on details coming through, that these illegal miners or this particular concession is linked to a politically connected company, Akwanta Mining. How is the Commission ensuring investigations are impartial and that all perpetrators face consequences regardless of their status?
Well, the action being undertaken has no political connotation. And therefore, if a political person is in one way or the other involved, the fellow will be dealt with just according to law. Insightful it would be to say that, as you saw in the third video, they wrote Akwanta Mining Company Limited on the building. And when we interacted with the people, they made us know that after power changed hands, somebody who I do not know, we do not know, came to use white paint to gloss over the name, but you could still see it boldly. And I have heard that Chairman Wontumi is alleged to have said that he has no illegal miner on his side. But we are also fully aware that the very people we arrested were all situated on his facility. Therefore, there's a need for a real look at who is authorized to be doing what on his property, if so it is. But some of these are not for us to even go into. Ours is to make sure we first and foremost stop those who are doing that, and the police have aided us in arresting them. And when prosecutions begin, etc., then they can find the right answers to provide to whoever.
You mentioned that there were a number of operations like this happening across different parts of the country. Can you provide us a bit more details, not going into intelligence matters, but what the plan is from the Forestry Commission really in eradicating these illegals from the country's protected lands?
I would have wished to openly let you know of that, but you agree with me again that any form of information provision in that regard will mean it could compromise the operations. So I will not be able to give you any information regarding that, but trust that a lot is ongoing. The military are also at other places whilst doing that in collaboration with other agencies that are concerned or related to this matter.
Persons listening to you will be asking the question that this operation, the illegal mining operation, was discovered deep in a protected forest reserve. What is a specific plan or measure you're implementing at the Forestry Commission to strengthen surveillance and prevent such intrusions in other reserves? And mind you, there's that concern as well that even within the security architecture apparatus, persons from there leak information to these illegal miners when operations like these are expected to happen. How are you dealing with all of that?
It is the reason why with the operations we are carrying out lately, for instance, personnel are not aware where they are going, and amongst other things, and we have taken measures to make sure that the operations are not compromised in any way. More so, when you have persons express interest in wanting to know further details, it is right in their, it's right that they want to know those things, but to protect them and to also make sure we execute the program to its logical conclusion, we will not be able to divulge some of those information. And so one of the key things we have done as a regime is also to now begin to sit and look at, okay, what made it fail in the past years? Why was it not successful in the past years? Who and what did what? And so when you try to provide answers to most of these questions, you are able to make progress, and that, I must say, is what has actually resulted in the success of what you are seeing, of what happened yesterday.
And if I can ask, what is your plan at the Forestry Commission? I asked what the plan is at the Forestry Commission in relation to what targets you set for yourself between now and possibly the end of the year in what you want to do in ridding the forest of illegal miners. Okay. Are you setting a target of up to the end of the year to say that by the end of the year you would have removed all illegal miners from the country's protected forest?
Okay, thank you for this, my brother. Indeed, that power ultimately does not lie with the Forestry Commission because we have embarked on so many advocacy programs in order to make people know the need for them to stop these things. But when money is involved, many will listen but will not act right. And it is the reason why we also need to know and appreciate that the Forestry Commission is not a weaponized institution. When you go to our neighboring countries, especially the French-speaking countries like Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Togo, etc., their Forestry Commission is almost a detachment. The guards are a detachment from the military. And so they have pure military training and are deployed to the Forestry Commission. But that is not the case in Ghana. So our forest guards, for instance, are not weaponized. And so there's some kind of incapacity at that point. But it is the reason why we can only work with state institutions, especially the security services, and that collaboration is what will bring the results we saw yesterday. So we are hopeful that we'll continue in that spirit and be able to achieve more by ridding our forests, and not only forests. And let me also say this. Some have even questioned that, if it is not a forest, why are you talking? We are all Ghanaians. And so even if it is not a forest reserve that is being destroyed, Mother Ghana is still being destroyed and we should have a say. And so long as it is near even the protected area, we must be able to have a say in that regard to ensure that our water bodies are restored to become clean. The fishes, our aquatic life is also restored. And even food crops, etc., are not affected by the chemicals that we see being used, as well as the vegetation, amongst other things.
Elikem, we'll leave the conversation here. I appreciate that you could speak to us this evening.
Thank you so much, my brother, and do have a great evening.
Sure thing. That's Elikem.